again, and yes, my name's Gavin Boyter, and this is the end of my first week of this new experiment, storytelling experiment. Every story this week has been 1,000 words long and based on 5 randomly chosen words from an online random word generator. And the words that have been chosen for this particular story are here. I just want to preface this story by saying that this is satire and is not a how-to video, put it that way. Okay, this is called The Presidential Advisor. 2 months into the COVID-19 crisis, with America boasting the world's highest death rate, the President finally promised to listen to his special advisors. The dozen assembled experts took the Commander-in-Chief's statement with a very large pinch of salt. Charles Willoughby III, statistical expert, brought out of retirement, had spent a frustrating 3 weeks in the think tank a few doors down from the Oval Office. So far, the advisors had done little more than rearrange the proverbial deck chairs. Unfortunately, the virus wasn't the iceberg. Donald Trump was the iceberg. And they had insufficient lifeboats, as the President was still quibbling over costings. Willoughby had worked for some blowhards in his time, a lifelong Republican who wasn't mindlessly partisan and didn't blindly hang off every word his boss uttered. He hoped the rest of the party would wake up to the truth. COVID-19 wasn't going to destroy America. Donald Trump was. It was part of the master plan. You didn't have to be an expert decoder of signs and symbols to spot what was really going on. China and Russia were colluding to destroy America. I mean, it was a complex plan. By Willoughby's reckoning, they were in the penultimate stage. First, an imbecile had been installed in the Oval Office. Various machinations had led to the second-rate reality TV star entering politics. The really clever part had been persuading him that it was his idea. Then, when things looked shaky in the election, Russia and the Ukraine stepped in, and Hillary didn't stand a chance. Once the venal, attention-deficient, egomaniacal, incompetent sociopath had been promoted to the highest office in the land, the catastrophe could play out naturally. However, the secret cabal plotting to destroy America wanted to accelerate things. Cue the Chinese engineering a supervirus, with a cover story about infected meat entering the human food chain. Sure, the virus was a pretty blunt instrument and would cause economic instability and the death of tens of thousands, but the conspiracy operated in bold brushstrokes. Their plan was both awful and awesome in the archaic sense. When Willoughby was unretired, having only just been released from the institution, where his obsessive truth-seeking had been misdiagnosed as paranoid schizophrenia, he couldn't believe it. It could only be the work of a counter-cabal, working against the master planners. Willoughby might never know who his allies were, for keeping their identity secret was the best way to prevent leaks. Willoughby could not reveal his findings to anyone, including his wife. What he could do, must do, is ingratiate himself with the administration, whilst awaiting a signal. It would come in coded form, no doubt. The counter-cabal had to be even subtler than the conspiracy against America to succeed. Willoughby knew there were recording devices everywhere, even inside the little tea strainer he filled with Earl Grey each morning. So he said what the cabal wanted to hear, parroting back Trump's idiotic ideology. He deliberately alienated himself from the think tank whose suggestions were unpopular with Trump, letting the President think that Willoughby was his one true ally. Before long, Trump pronounced that he only wanted Willoughby to attend his daily briefings. The nonsense Willoughby was forced to spout in order to maintain his cover stuck in his craw, but he reminded himself of the greater goal, nothing short than the prevention of World War III. One morning, as he was spinning jelly onto his toast, the signal came. As he sat by the window waiting for the others to arrive, Willoughby found himself watching the pigeons. They roosted amongst the eaves, their dropping forming patterns on the stone windowsills in a way that hardly looked natural, because they were not natural. There was a structure there. Willoughby walked over with his morning tea and took a closer look. The shapes formed by the droppings seemed to be letters. There was a B, there was what looked like the number 3, but nothing discernible in between. He scratched his head, unable to read the cipher. Then, splat! Another dropping fell into place, completing a shape that looked like an upside-down 4. B43. Was that a bomber? Wait a minute. Willoughby remembered reading a text message from his 14-year-old granddaughter recently. B4 was obviously before 3. Of course, Trump was due to sign a number of important bills at 3 p.m. with his big fat marker pen. Whatever was in those bills must on no accounts be signed. Willoughby had a few hours to act. There was only one surefire play, but there was a major problem. No weapons were allowed anywhere near the president, except those carried by security personnel. Sophisticated technology could identify a concealed gun or knife in seconds. Should someone try to garrote Trump, his security men would be on the assassin in seconds. What to do? The answer presented itself in the form of White House aide Melanie Troughton. Passing him in the corridor, she sneezed suddenly. It took only a brief word in the ear of a security officer, and Melanie was bundled away into enforced isolation. Willoughby graciously offered to take over some of her duties, including bringing the president his 2 o'clock mail. You could never smuggle a knife into the Oval Office, but if you had letters to open and possessed a souvenir monogrammed letter opener, then you might of course be allowed to bring that into the presence of the president. Of course, it wouldn't be sharp enough, but if you also happen to know the whereabouts of a sharpening steel and could pocket one, then you are getting closer. It took just 2 hours of patient grinding in one of the toilet cubicles for the letter opener to become a deadly weapon. As Willoughby strode towards the Oval Office with a pile of letters and the instrument of victory openly carried, he remembered to stop and thank the pigeons for their part. In 10 minutes' time, the 45th President of the United States wouldn't be the only one with blood on his hands. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and once again, satire, everyone. Please don't have me killed. But I would very much like you to subscribe. The button is there, I think, and you can see another video here and many other videos elsewhere on my page. So please share, like it, get the word out, and there will be a few nice little surprises along the way for you if you continue to follow me. And I will of course see you tomorrow. Goodbye.